Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Moonchild Serendipity. So today is Jimin's birthday blessing reading. I really have to apologize because I couldn't get this video up on his exactly on his birthday because I was heavily affected by the full moon in Aries this time. I didn't know why. I had a really hard time coping with it. I guess I was just having too much downloads. So I really couldn't get into readings at all. I had to take a break from all the readings that I usually do. So it didn't feel right to, force a reading when I couldn't feel connected at all. So that's why I decided to push this reading back a few days. And I think it was the right decision because after seeing, watching the concert, listening to Jimin on his lovely life, and also like seeing him being in the concert, it gives me a lot more sense of being connected with him. So I felt like this is the right time that I could do the reading on his birthday blessings. And because the blessings are supposed to be, we're looking at the next 12 months. So a few days doesn't really make that much of a difference. But I'm not trying to justify myself. I'm just, I apologize for not getting this on time. But here we are, ready for it. I've already shuffled the cards. This reading, I think the structure is gonna be a little bit similar to Namjoon's reading. We've got the tarot cards here. I didn't feel the need to clarify them even before I shuffled the cards. Like when I got the decks out, I was like, I don't feel the need to use two decks to clarify each other today. So we are only having these tarot cards here, and then we're having these oracle cards. We're getting a few more than usual today, and hopefully they will give us more in-depth details or stories of what are coming for Jimin in the next 12 months in his new solar cycle. And then by the end we're gonna shuffle this together just to close the reading and just to get one final message, one final blessings are coming for Jimin the next coming year. So let's have a look at the tarot cards. These are just major arcana, so we are looking at, blessings, major events that would potentially happen to Jimin in the next 12 months based on his current energies. When I was doing my pre-reading meditation to try to connect to Jimin, I kind of feel like his energy, his aura is manifesting into something of a pink and purple hue. It feels calming and it feels welcoming but also guarded. Like Jimin has learned how to develop or set up his boundaries so that other people would not so easily tempered with his energy. And that's a good thing. I think that's a major glow up from an energetic standing point, because I have watched Jimin, I've been watching Jimin all these years, and the way he grows in terms of being centered in himself, it really makes me proud. But okay, let's get into these tarot cards. Oh wait, where do we start? Because I already looked at the cards, when I shuffled them, they jumped out and I already know what they are. We start with this, the Empress card. So a lot of abundance is coming to Jimin's way, because the Empress card is a card of self-made abundance. Like she grows things and she inspires things to grow around her. And there's also a hue of purple-ish here. So this is what I think this is very similar to what I saw in my meditation. Like Jimin is sitting somewhere being surrounded by a purple pinkish aura. In this case, the Empress is sitting in her garden and she's willing everything to grow around her. She's manifesting all this green and abundance, water flowing all around her. But there's a sense of being limited. It's like being, how do you say it? Feels like she's in a cage, kind of, and she can use her willpower to manifest things, but you know, this lack of sense of freedom. So I do feel like in the next 12 months, maybe, or like the restrictions around their group activities, that would make Jimin feel like he doesn't have the freedom that he wish he would have. And I think that has a lot to do with, you know, being active as a group, being able to do the things that they did before COVID. So I think there's still remnants of being restricted because of the pandemic and things like that. But nonetheless, things are growing so fast and in abundant around Jimin. He's creating a lot, and he's inspiring a lot of people. He's inspiring creation outside of his own work or his own world. People look at him for inspiration to draw, to paint, to create, to be a better person. Jimin can just live his life, be in his room, and his energy is powerful enough to make things grow. Like even if he's not aware of it, that's just the power of the Empress. And I am seeing a lot of like peace, calming moments, calming senses, and love flowing to Jimin. Even though he's feeling a little bit, you know, confined. Exactly, yes, confined. But he feels the growth that he inspired outside of his confinement. If that makes sense. And the next card we have here, the Towel. I love it that it came out after the Empress, because this deck I got is very untraditional. Like, it's not the traditional Rider-Waite tarot that we usually use. So the imagery, and I read from the imagery, and the imagery in this deck is very unconventional. Is that the word? It's very different. So I get a lot of different messages compared to the traditional cards that I usually use. Well, to be honest, none of my decks are that traditional, but they are close to the traditional version. But with these ones, I really love this deck because I get to challenge my my ability to read the images. So I love that the Towel came right after the Empress and right after we talked about, you know, the confinement, the feeling of being in a cage, being limited, being trapped and stuck. Then we have the Towel. There will be a force, an external force that break this confinement for Jimin. So this is just a metaphor. It doesn't literally mean that he's being confined in a space or in his room, in his house, whatever. So Jimin is being free from whatever the conditions that he's feeling stuck in or he's feeling trapped in. Possibly he would well, this is not something Jimin expected. Because you know the Tower is usually an expected moment, but it helps us. The Tower moment, it helps us demolish what is no longer serving, no longer working in our lives. It's like a nudge, a push from the universe for us to take the step that we have always wanted to take, but doesn't really have the courage to, because you know, leaving your safe space and doing all this thing, all the new things is nerve-wracking. But the tower moment, you know, when everything that we've known being struck to the ground, we are forced to, you know, run out and find new options, find a new horizon. And I think this is what is happening for Jimin. Possibly in the first quarter of 2023 up until May, April. So from now until May or April, there will be a major event that would happen and kind of force or free Jimin from the confinement that he has been feeling with Empress. I would say it would be a solo project or something that got revealed. Maybe his solo project gets leaked, which is the thing that nobody wants. But maybe it got like not maybe it got revealed before the plan. Like somebody, I don't know, I got a sense of like somebody leaked that Ho Chi Minh would really release his new solo project in this month. But then the original plan of the company of Jimin that it would be released like 3 months later or something. But because there is a source of information that says otherwise, so they would have to, you know, move their schedule a little bit earlier, or there's something happens that would push Jimin to release his project a little bit earlier. That's what I'm hearing. But I definitely has something. Oh my god, I definitely have the sense that this tower moment has something to do majorly with his career. Where he's not quite ready, because you know there's people running away from the tower, and nobody's ever ready for the tower moment. But the good thing is that in the traditional tarot deck, the towers, like when the tower struck, people fall off the tower to the ground, and that's like, it's a very scary thing. It's a scary image, it's scary things to imagine. But these people, they managed to escape the tower before it's struck. So I would say Jimin is like 80%, 90% ready to do to take the leap, but he wasn't like he's a perfectionist, right? So he was always like, oh, I want to prepare, I want to be my best. And then this tower moment happened, and he was pushed to jump before he's truly ready in his head. But you know, we will never be ready if we're just waiting for the moment. Some of the best thing happens when we are not quite ready, or when we think that we're not quite ready. But good, let's move on to the next card. We have the world. So here we have it, like after the tower moment comes the world. Jimin might think that he's not ready to take this leap, to release his solo album, or to, I don't know, there's a sense of doing something on his own, and yeah, doing something on his own. He would not think that he's ready, but the tower moment happened, and then he was kind of forced or pushed out of his comfort zone to do that. And then he found the world, he found his world, he will find his world. Like Jimin, he will find a new horizon, a whole new world, like being pushed outside of his comfort zone, being put in a position where he has to handle everything on his own. Jimin will realize how powerful, how resourceful, how amazing he is, how good he is at handling everything on his own and creating his own world. He would initially opens up a door to his own kingdom. He's stepping into his own kingdom. He's finding it in 2023, and I'm like, honestly, this card is one of the best card that will come out in a blessing reading for me. It's like I'm hearing the world is your oyster, and it literally just open up for Jimin. And that's amazing. That's so amazing. After the Tower moment, he would think that he's not ready, but he is. You know, mentally, we as humans always think that we're not ready or we're not deserving of the good things, but it's not true. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens at the right timing. So the Tower moment is there for Jimin to lead Jimin to the world, to his world. And then the last card we have here, the Emperor. Isn't it amazing? Like, we open up with Empress and we're closing up with the Emperor. Also one thing, because Empress and Emperor are a pairing, right? And then at the beginning when I was doing my meditation, I felt like Jimin has a really calm and balanced aura around it. Also, this pink and purplish hue here. So there, I do feel like at the end of the journal, like at the end of the next 12 months, or by next birthday, Jimin will come into a place where he's really well balanced in his energy. Jimin is one of the few people, well, the other BTS members as well, they are on the better scale of having balanced energy, balanced feminine and masculine energy. I would say 90% of us, of like people, human being on the planet, we don't acknowledge the fact that we have both feminine and masculine energy in us, and there are even fewer people who are really balanced within themselves of this energy. So Jimin is one of those people. He has both feminine and masculine energy, and he honors both. He, by the end of, well, by his birthday next year, he would have learned how to really well balance his masculine and feminine, and he would not be shy to showcase that. And that's very, very inspiring. But also, we're talking about the world. We're talking about Jimin building his own world, opening up the door to his own kingdom, and then we have the Emperor. He's owning it. So what I'm seeing here is like, this is the first half of 2023, and this is the later half of 2023. Moving it, like, this is around the time of Jimin's birthday next year. He would have learned and placed himself on the throne of his own kingdom. Yeah, he has a strong foundation, but there's a sense of what is the word, of solitude here. So I think the next 12 months will be placed heavily into Jimin's own learning, growing, and solo project, and being his own self. And that is an amazing thing. Like, he will start building his own kingdom. There will be a lot of hardship. I can see it here, and there will be times where Jimin's overcome, or like with strong emotions, because he's such a, how do you say it? He's very well connected to his people, and he always feels the need to be very connected, surrounded by his people. So it can be difficult for him to be in solitude for time, and for him to, you know, really face the challenge himself, and really like unlock the door to his own throne room, to his own kingdom, to rule and to create a world of himself. But he's getting there. The Emperor is a really strong, powerful card, and I love to see that for Jimin. There's nothing that could break him. There's nothing that could take away his world, his kingdom. Oh, and I'm seeing him sitting on a throne right now, and like in all black. Okay, okay, let's start. Let's move on to the oracle card. The first one we have here is the 12th house introspection. Again, this is the card that encourages or indicates that the next 12 months Jimin would be challenged to look within himself, to really balance out his energies, to really like listen to himself, get to know himself, and to see where he wants to go. To really listen to his deepest desire, his own calling, his destiny. Because Jimin is one of the few people that I can pick up super strong angelic energy. He's here on a mission. He's here for a purpose. So yes, the next 12 months is a big lesson that Jimin would need to learn to really, activate his own power through his willing. Especially when we have the Empress here, where Jimin can manifest a lot of things outside of himself, just using his will. Like he can just wish well on people and things, and good stuff would happen. But the next 12 months, his challenge is to use that willpower on himself, to will the good things to happen within himself, to will himself into being better, to really step in his light mission, the angelic mission that his soul is here for. Oh, by the way, I was thinking maybe I could do, like soul mission readings on the members, and also updated on their ideal type, which is something that is very like on the other spectrum of soul missions and blah blah. But could be an interesting things to look into. We'll get a lot of like different perspectives, of course. But okay, next card we have here, the Union of Hearts. Oh, I love this card. I think this card came out for either Jimin or someone else in the group before. And say a love connection defies explanation. And we have the Empress and the Emperor. Even though that I said it was mostly, I felt like it was mostly about Jimin and his feminine, masculine energy being balanced within himself. And then we have this card here. So I would say that his companion, his partner, his soul companion, is always with him throughout the journey. And I would say that they play a pretty significant role in Jimin's journey of learning and growing. And this is the card of fated destiny connection, destined connection. And I would say that Jimin's soul companion is someone who's very balanced in their masculine and feminine energy as well, which is beautiful. And number 28 could be a significant. Jimin is turning 28. Yes, he's turning 28. So that's amazing. And then we also have like, this is coming up to his next birthday, which is his 28th birthday. Yeah. So that's cool. Alright, the next oracle card we have here, Earth School. It says, life lessons, soul growth, study higher learning. I've been stretching this, so like the next 12 months, the next solar cycle is for Jimin to learn and to grow, to learn on Earth, to realize that his soul has come to Earth to learn and to take this planet as a school where he can learn and grow, and you're stepping into his mission, diving in. This is how his soul came to Earth, like just diving in the clouds. I love this imagery so much, and also this pinkish purple hue is exactly what I saw. So that's amazing. This tower moment, or the next 12 months where Jimin is challenged to face himself, to really understand himself. I think this has come up, this kind of message has come up within the past year. So Jimin is really in the period of his life, or of his soul journey that he is called to learn about himself, to honor himself, his soul, which is beautiful. And I love that. I have to say that I love that this card came out, because we've been talking about Jimin being in solitude, learning all of this by himself. He has a soul companion that is very similar to him. They're probably going through the same thing, or they have gone through the same thing, so that they are there for Jimin as very, very like steady shoulders to rely on, which is beautiful. The next card we have Simplicity. And then we have Patient. Excuse me. Oh, must be something. Simplicities and patience. I get it. I think the simplicity is just a message calling out for Jimin to, you know, take things as simple as they are, as simple as they come. It doesn't have to be too complex. It's telling Jimin to listen to his heart's desire. Nothing has to be too complicated. If he wants to sing. If he wants to deliver a message in his song, do it. And do it in a most simple way. And the simplest of expression will actually get a lot of people's attention, instead of like, you know, complex word and elaborated plans and organization and things like that. I would think if Jimin is doing anything work-wise or, you know, artsy in the next 12 months, simple would be the best way to go. Something I'm suddenly hearing Promise, his song in my head, and that to me is a very, very simple song, but it gets to your heart and it stays with you forever, but just because it's simple and it's so easy to remember, so easy to relate to. So maybe Jimin would relate something that is very similar to Promise, in that sense, in the next year. And then we have Patient here. This is a very important reminder for Jimin, because, you know, there's a lot for him to learn in this lifetime, and this is just one step of the way. He's stepping into his Emperor era, but that is like, you know, it's not gonna happen overnight. And there's all this building up leading to that moment. So the things that Jimin needs to do is just being patient with himself, being patient with the whole learning journey. And I feel like patience and simplicity goes so well with each other, because if we see things for what they truly are, if we just look at things simply as what they are, we will not feel the need to rush to achieve anything or to rush to anywhere, because we are already enjoying the moment and we already know what or where we want to get to. So yeah, let's move on to the last oracle card. Here we have Take a Break. It's a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So maybe this is the message that would come after the tower, or it would just be, you know, encouraging Jimin to take small breaks here and there just to recharge himself and to, you know, rewind or reassess his progress within this whole journey, because I can see that the next 12 months for Jimin is quite packed. Like, there's a lot of things that he wants to do. Once he realizes his power, his resources, his destination, he will be very, very motivated to just, you know, smash through things and get it done quickly. Again, patient and taking breaks here and there, very, very important, because, you know, spending time doing nothing sometimes can be productive as well, because it contributes to higher productivity when you actually like work. Next card we have here, the crumbling, is exactly the towel. What are you clinging on to again? When I talked about the towel moment, I mentioned that maybe Jimin's Jimin would think that he's not ready. So he's clinging on the fact that, oh, I want to prepare more. There are things that could be done better. Even at the concert yesterday, at his ending man, I think he also say something like things could have been better, or we could have done better. And that's just something that he would say a lot of the time, that is becoming default. No, you've did the best, you give the best at that given moment. You could have done better in the future given the same circumstances, but I would wish that he would stop saying that I could have done better, because he always gives his best. So the crumbling, I hope that it would change his mind of that as well. Like he's ready to take this leap. And the last one we have here, play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Oh, I feel the need to put it down next to the life lesson ones. So it's a lesson, but we're not at school. Well, Jimin is at his school, but we're not at school. We're not being graded. We're not being measured. We're not being tested. We learn the lesson for the lesson themselves. We learn the lesson to grow. So I hope that Jimin can have fun with it. That he can like celebrate his small wins along the way. I do feel like there will be solo project coming out. There will be fun things that he would do with it. There will be a cocktail party. What I see. There's also a lot of like dancing as well. Not I'm tempted to say sensual dancing, but that sounds wrong. Not sensual dancing. The dance that is very not elegant, very I use a lot of body movement. The dance that is not it's not harsh. It's not hard or high tempo. The kind of dance that is very smooth and almost contemporary, but it's very expressive kind of dancing. So maybe that could appear in one of his MV, or it could happen at a party. I don't know. I'm just picking up on very expressive dancing. It's not something that is super hard and super high tempo, super stimulating. It's something very something that would evoke your feeling, make you feel connected, that kind of dance. And I think Jimin would do really well in those kind of dance. But yeah, what do I know about dancing? Okay, let's shuffle this deck here to see if there is any last messages that we would have for blessings are coming for Jimin in his new solar cycle, essentially the next 12 months from now until his next birthday. Oh, no, that's a lot of card. Crystal. That's way too many cards. Okay, let's see if I can get just one or two cards. Blessings are coming for Jimin next 12 months. Okay, they wanted to come out, so we're gonna take them. Oh, this is interesting. One second. They stick together. We have spirituality, cherry blossom, and strength. I love these cards that they come out together. Spirituality, we've been talking a lot about self-growth, about soul life lesson, soul mission, being present on earth and and Jimin's own soul mission. So spirituality, yes, I think this will be huge spiritual awakening that's coming for Jimin, or maybe not even not awakening, because I feel like he's already awoke. Spiritual advancement. Let's say that. And cherry blossom. So I would say, oh, April, May. So that's where the tower moment would happen. Very interesting. Then we have the strength, of course. Just like reinstating that Jimin has all the resources, all the willpower, all the strength to become his own emperor. Because the strength is also like a card that is associated with a fire sign, Leo, and the emperor is Aries, so they're all like fire. So I sometimes make connection between them, but that's cool. That's really nice to finish this reading with. So yeah, thank you so much for being with me through this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it, and I'm so glad that I could, go back to doing reading with energies being quite unpredictable lately. But yeah, thank you again for being with me, and I cannot make a promise, but I will try to put up more readings moving forward. Otherwise, I'll see you at Sokjin's birthday reading, but hopefully it's not going to be that long. Yeah, please stay safe, stay healthy and positive wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.